Hey everyone, this podcast is part of Story Mode, the podcast network of Gamefully Unemployed. You can support us and gain access to other great exclusive podcasts at patreon.com/gamefullyunemployed. That's patreon.com/GAMEFULLY unemployed, which is spelled like it sounds.
What are we doing?
I don't know, man. This is Brimley Cast, right?
Brimley
Cast.
Wilford, we miss you.
Oh man.
Hi everyone.
Hello everyone.
My name is David Bell.
My name is Tom Ryman.
And we just watched Deep Blue Sea 3.
We did.
Brown, where are you?
There he is. Those sharks have been altered, engineered. They're not sharks.
Climate change is making them highly aggressive towards everything.
Get out of the water!
It's all about survival, folks.
We certainly did. We certainly did. Listen, pickings are slim right now.
Well, okay. Tom, we covered Deep Blue Sea 2.
We did. That's true.
So it makes sense to watch Deep Blue Sea 3. That said, yeah, we thought She Dies Tomorrow is out on streaming this weekend. It wasn't. So this was a real last-minute choice.
Yeah.
That I do not regret.
No. This movie kind of rules.
I really liked this movie.
Yeah, this dumbass movie is kind of awesome.
I really enjoyed Deep Blue Sea 3, you guys.
Yeah.
It's on Amazon right now. You have to buy it.
Yeah, I would wait till it becomes a rental.
I guess so. I was going to say I did not feel like I wasted my money.
No, I was excited by the idea that once I hit the end credits, I was like, I can watch this again whenever I want.
Yeah. We can show it to our grandchildren now. We'll always have it until Amazon falls apart. But we'll always have it until then. This is directed by John Pogue, who is the writer of U.S. Marshals, the sequel to The Fugitive. He did not write the original. He also wrote The Skulls.
Yeah.
He wrote Rollerball. He wrote Ghost Ship. He wrote The Skulls 2. He wrote The Skulls 3. Directed...
The series was very important to him.
Mm-hmm. He directed Quarantine 2 and The Quiet Ones. But he didn't... he did direct this. He didn't write it.
No, he didn't. This was written by Dirk Blackman.
Yeah. Dirk Blackman, writer of Underworld, Rise of the Lycans, and really nothing else worth mentioning. That's top. Well, it was the top for him. Now it's Deep Blue Sea 3.
Now it's Deep Blue Sea 3, obviously. Like, what are you talking about here?
This movie is great. I knew we were in for a treat when I saw the opening shot. That's a good opening shot.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. With the three sharks cruising towards the atoll.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a like a sinking village. Well, not sinking. It's the ocean is rising. There's an environmental message in this.
There is a powerful one, which is we need to stop polluting or else giant mutant bull sharks will eat us all.
Yeah. But it's also about how the rich have given up on climate change and are just deciding to survive it. Mm-hmm. One of the villains mentions that in a monologue, and it's not wrong.
Mm-mm.
They're not wrong. So it's this little village where it's mostly abandoned because there's, it's flooding, except for one couple. And a group of scientists.
Weirdly, one couple living on this tiny atoll.
Yeah. It's really one guy, and his wife is like, "Can we go?"
And he's like, "No, this is our home.
Where would we go? Yeah, where would we go?" And it's
where would we go?
Somewhere where we won't sink.
Anywhere.
Yeah, we're sinking right now.
We're the only humans on this island.
Yeah. The only other people is a bunch of fucking scientists.
Right, and they're only there for the summer. Like, they go there, they've been going there for, like, the past few summers because there's, like, this incredible reef but just beneath the atoll that has all this great
nursery.
wildlife, and sharks come from miles and miles to feed each year and to give birth. So it's like a real chill, like Shark Week opportunity, I guess.
It's a chill shark hangout.
Yeah.
Our hero Emma has a relationship with a shark named Sally.
I forget. Yeah, it's a big ass great white.
Yeah, and it's like, it's not a loving relationship, but the shark's doesn't eat her.
No.
And that's as much as you can hope for. Shark shoves her around a lot.
The shark gives her a real power flex shoulder bump, essentially.
Yeah, and it is Sally. I believe it's Sally. Yeah, the shark is as friendly as a shark can be, as a great white shark. Mm-hmm. And so her ex-boyfriend shows up in a boat with a bunch of tough guys.
Including Karate Australian Man.
Yes. God, it's great. Fucking great movie. And he's like, we're hunting 3 bull sharks, and we think they've come here. Mm-hmm. And could we use, like, kind of your help? I mean, we'll do most of the work. Like, these seem like real aggro dudes who are like, they don't really want their help, but they're on their turf, and they kind of move in, and it turns out that the sharks they're hunting are super intelligent sharks. Mm-hmm. From what is it, Aquatica? Was that the first movie?
That was the first movie. Yeah.
It's like they're like the sons of the sharks. They're like the spawn of the sharks.
Third or fourth generation somehow, but they're not really. They talk about the first movie because they talk about the mako sharks that they use in the first movie.
Yeah,
these are bull sharks.
Right. They lie at first and they say like they're man-eating sharks.
Well, they lie and say that they're like a weird aberrant natural mutation because they like hunt in packs and stuff. And they're like, well, we need to stop them or else they're really going to upset the balance of life in the ocean.
Yeah, so they're gonna try to trank them, but they have explosive darts, which are used,
and it basically results in like a Waterworld stunt show.
Yes, it looks like a stunt show spectacular. I love it.
And that's not a bad thing.
No, I don't think there's a single bad thing I have to say about this movie. Like, it's not an award-winning movie or anything.
This is a stupid movie. But
it's deep through C3.
At the same time, it's an incredible movie.
They do everything right. Yeah. They even do some creepy stuff. The first death was creepy.
Yeah.
I thought.
Yeah, dude goes, they're like, oh, it's Brown. He's back. And he's like, has one of those like things that you can drive while you're diving.
Yeah,
like
I don't know what they're called.
Like, you can like hold on to him, and it's like a jetpack for you when you're underwater. And he goes cruising by, and it's like a reveal that it's just his top half, just dead ass clinging to it. And then they do like
which is funny.
It's funny, and then they do a real tight close up of his face, and his eyes are just like wide and dead.
Yeah,
it was pretty.
That was the part where I was like, Jesus.
Yeah, it was pretty bitchin'.
Yeah, the director makes some choices that are really effective. That shot was like creepy, and then it sort of keeps passing by, and they mention that he's just going to keep going.
Yep.
And it's like, why did you have to mention it? Now it's fucking hilarious.
Dead dude's top half is just going to keep zooming around the ocean.
Yep. Until some water skiers like fucking bump into it. Some kid on the beach making a sandcastle. He just drifts up on the shore with his dead eyes.
Comes motoring up onto the beach.
Yeah, just beaches himself. She's the horror of many children.
Half a dead dude.
Yeah. With intense eyes.
Right,
with like crazy fucking eyes.
The most intense dead face anyone has ever had.
It's going to be amazing. It'll be families on the beach, and he'll just like be slowly emerging like Godzilla out of the water, and they'll see him like fucking face first with these intense eyes, and then hopefully it's like the thing he's on is running out of power, so it's very slow. And he just like slowly emerges,
sputtering through the sand.
Yeah.
So his dead body's like flopping around.
Yeah, it starts spinning. So he's just like doing circles, just donuts on the beach.
Half of a dead dude cutting donuts.
Well, his guts just keep like sputtering out of his back end. This long line of entrails just swirling around while kids scream as his entrails slap them in the face.
Yep.
Yeah.
Tripping some people.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
man.
perfect.
It's that I would just
Perfect film.
that's the rest of the movie as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
It's just following this dude's dead body.
It would have been amazing if they kept cutting back to his body.
Right, like just showing his journey.
Yeah.
They cut back and he's like, just like his dead fucking body, just like shuddering past a pod of playful dolphins.
Yeah. The dolphins like hitting him, batting back and forth, batting him, playing with him. They could do this whole B plot where like there's a corrupt senator and he's going to rig an election and he's really evil and you don't know what that has to do with anything. And then at the last minute, he's like smoking a cigarette on a dock and he's like, it's all coming into place. And this guy just jettisons out of the water and murders the senator. Just like give him his own arc and hero story. Like,
He gets caught in a fishing net.
yeah. He gets caught in the fishing net and they like bring him on board and they like are like, well, you know, if we're gonna house and feed you, you got to work for us. And it's like a montage of him, like them all doing work on the boat with his like dead torso helping out, but not really, just like flopping around.
It's just laying there, like they've.
And then the captain's daughter falls in love with him.
Right, every scene he's just laying there with his intense ass dead face.
Yeah, just like living out like a Forrest Gump story where he like meets the president.
There's a scene where like a storm hits the boat and they've put like
Yeah.
a slicker on him and shit. It's like, we gotta secure the sails, dead guy. Throw me a line, and it cuts to him, and he's just not throwing a line because he's dead as shit, just sitting there with a slicker on, with his intense ass dead face.
With that crazy fucking face the whole time, never changing. He's got to have the goggles on and everything. So it's just the eyes. Oh, God.
He gets to
damn
go
it.
on Johnny Carson and meet John Lennon. It's just fucking dead body propped up
Gives
on the
John
couch
Lennon
next
the-
to John Lennon.
He inspires him to write Imagine.
No positions, and like a crab crawls out of his mouth. just fucking dead.
Just super duper dead. Decomposing slowly. Bloated. The eyes never changing.
Same crazy intense face.
Yeah. Oh,
Oh
God.
my God.
What a gift. What a gift.
Oh shit, I need this movie.
Yeah, someone. All right. I don't know. Zemeckis, if you're listening, make this movie.
Yeah. I don't know what the fuck you're waiting for, man. This is the follow-up to Castaway that we needed.
Yeah, 100%. There's a shark hostage negotiation in this.
Oh yeah, that's pretty sweet.
The sharks are so smart that they capture one of them. Mm-hmm. It falls asleep with a person in its mouth.
With a dude in his mouth, yeah.
It's so tuckered out. It's very cute. With our guy hero.
Sort
has-
of. I think he's another villain, right?
Yeah, they make him seem like he might turn, and then something amazing happens, and we'll get to it.
Right. Then one of the most incredible moments in cinema history occurs.
Yeah. Yes, and we'll certainly address it.
I mean, it still comes in second to Dead Guy's torso just goes on an adventure
Yeah, the adventure of torso dead guy.
of dead half man.
Yeah. But they tag the shark, and then the other sharks start wailing on the boat. That's the bad guy's boat, because they want their brother. And so the guy takes his explosive dart gun and points it to the captured shark's head, and the other sharks are like, "It's cool, man. It's cool. It's cool." And they back off. So they're literally keeping a shark hostage against other sharks. I wanted like a little shark with a bullhorn to show up. I wanted,
Right. Sam Jackson shows up.
Yeah. All of that.
The shark starts shouting, "You want my blood? Take it."
Oh yeah, if it was they uncover the corruption of the bad guys, like the fact that the bad guys, why they're hunting them.
David Morse inexplicably emerges from the ocean.
Oh yeah. I mean, I wouldn't, if David Morse was in this, it would not surprise me.
Not terribly, no.
No. But we find out that they're trying to one of the bad guys is trying to hold on to the shark because its brain can cause world peace.
I forget.
Right? They talk about the Alzheimer's thing again, but then he says that they have this tracking device that was the tracking device of the shark's mom.
This was weird. Yeah, they have.
Yep.
So he said we can use the shark's brain to implant these homing beacons. He's basically talking about surgically forcing empathy onto the human race.
Yes,
which is an insane thing to say.
It's the most. It's one of the weirdest ways to be fascist. Is to I'm going to make everybody be empathetic, and it's like, wow.
What if everyone cared for other people as much as these sharks care about their mother, whom they know is dead?
Right. He says something like the tracking beacon was bred into them.
Yeah,
it's some real gibberish. Because the idea is that the tracking beacon that was on the mother, when he turns it on, it attracts the sharks. Mm-hmm. Because they think it's their mother, or they even though they know their mother's dead, they can't help themselves.
Mm-hmm. That's how he explains it. Yeah,
it's absolute nonsense.
Right. It's a real weird wrinkle to add to the plot. I don't know why we needed to.
Here's the idea.
Yeah, you could have just said Alzheimer's again. I was like, yeah, fine.
Well, no. I think the reason they did this is because this movie has a deeper message. It's a very deep movie. It's about climate change.
A deep blue movie.
It's a deep blue movie. It's about climate change and idealistic people trying to change the world versus rich people trying to survive the world. Mm-hmm. And that's what the other side of the coin, the other villain, is representing the rich people. I don't know why he's representing the rich people when he knows that they're just. I assume he just wants a seat on the ark, essentially.
Well, he sort of goes karate Australia and just kind of decides fuck it about halfway through.
He loses his fucking mind.
Well, I was totally on his side.
Yeah, I mean,
I was like, fuck this. After one of his dudes gets bitten in half, and then they're like, no, we got to get the rest of the sharks. He's like, well, we got one of them. Let's just blow the other two up and fuck off, right? What are we doing this for?
He's like, let's kill the sharks. Let's just make sure the sharks... And then later, the hero is like, they were right. Let's kill these sharks.
Well, yeah, they were always on board with the idea that the sharks needed to not be in the ocean.
Yeah, they just needed to communicate better with each other.
Right, I don't understand why...
but the idea, I think, is that Karate Guy wanted to kill all the sharks, including the one they had.
Yeah.
And I think that's the idea, is the idealistic bad guy was like, I want to solve climate change, because if you give people empathy like that, then the rich will, like everybody else, pitch in. Everybody will want to live and want others to live, and it'll cause this world peace of a epidemic of empathy. Mm-hmm. Where the bad guy was like, the rich guys don't want to do that.
Yeah, I'm not getting paid to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's right. He's because the good idealistic guy, or the bad idealistic guy, is like, we're going to do this, and it means he has to bring it back to the rich people who own the sharks and made the sharks, and the bad guy is just like, no, they're just covering their asses.
Yeah. What makes you think they're going to do any of this?
Yeah, they're just covering their asses so that they can survive through what is in store for humanity. Yeah. So I get it. He's cynical, but I don't think he's wrong in this case.
Right. Yeah. When his quote unquote turn happens, it's not much of a turn, because pretty much as soon as he's introduced, you can tell he's not really into this. He's like,
you can tell he's going to be the bad guy.
Yeah. Yeah. He's
like, oh, there's the bad guy.
This is kind of fucked. Yeah. And then you have the I guess the scientists are even a third viewpoint of that, because idealistic bad guy is like, let's force empathy onto people with this bizarre system I'm going to. It's fascist, but I mean, it'll make the world a better place.
Right.
The scientists are like, well, no, we're studying how nature is adapting to these changes, and then hopefully we can, in addition to helping the planet continue to survive, we can hopefully glean some knowledge from how the ocean is handling these huge dramatic changes that may be able to help humanity along.
Yeah.
So one's passively observing, and one's like actively like, no, we have to go in there and fucking shove this in there to make everybody care about climate change.
You gotta shove that empathy. Yeah, you gotta
cram
that shark brain in
shark
people.
empathy into people's brains.
Yeah.
What if they all just became shark people?
Yeah. Well, if everybody's like, yeah, I do feel empathy. Also, I really want to eat a dolphin now.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just really hungry for dolphin.
Like they're just sitting there eating a dog. Like, I care so much about the environment. Like, it's like I find myself really concerned with the future plight of humanity, and also I want to eat literally everything that moves.
Yeah. I just feel like a big tube that needs just stuff in it. Stuff me.
I'm glad we're in social isolation, because I don't think I'm safe to be around right now.
But the bad guy, he communicates this by firing explosive spears or darts at everyone.
Right, yeah. That's a really incredible moment.
I don't know why he did that, but I'm glad
I guess
it
just to cover it up? I don't know.
Yeah, I think he's like, I'm going to kill everybody now.
Right, I'm just going to kill everyone.
Yeah, and it's like, if he didn't do that, I think the good guys would have been like, yeah, let's kill the sharks.
Right.
And he'd be like, cool, help me out.
You're right, they probably would have helped him.
Yeah, but instead he starts firing at them. The lady fucking does a flip through the air.
It's a legitimately incredible stunt, because it's not digital.
No, it's not.
There's probably some wires or something that they removed, but like
she goes fucking flying.
It's a real ass explosion on a they built a set. The floating atoll city is a set.
Yeah, it's very impressive.
Yeah. So it's a real ass explosion and a real ass lady flipping through the air,
just flying.
It's pretty incredible.
Yeah, it's like a squirrel on a catapult.
Yeah,
it's great.
Just loses his damn mind and starts shooting explosive darts at everybody.
At everything. Yeah.
Just everything.
And yeah, it is
he sinks the restaurant.
Yeah, he sure does. It's a Waterworld stunt spectacular.
It really
absolutely is. And the fact that it's a real set, I mean, the sharks are obviously CGI. I think maybe they had some practical sharks for a couple of shots, but if they did, I didn't really notice. Maybe some fins. But what are you going to do?
Yeah, I think the sharks were all digital. There's some real sharks in there.
Yeah, but what are you going to do? You're making an indie Deep Blue Sea. The fact that they made the set as well as they did, and had real stunts.
That was part of the. If thinking back to the Deep Blue Sea 2 episode, that was like a major part of the problem of that second movie was just the set was like obviously the same hallway over and over again, just lit differently. And like everything was clearly cardboard, and they're like, like the second
and
one was
maybe that's not their fault. Maybe they were like, we'll give you $5 to make this movie, you know?
Yeah, but also like the shark violence in the movie sucked.
Yeah, they didn't do what. I'm curious. I want to know what their budgets were. I want to know what both budgets were now, because I want to know if they were working with the same amount of money. I don't see a budget listed for Deep Blue Sea 3. Deep Blue Sea 2. I also don't see a budget. They're really keeping their cards close to the chest there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm guessing the budget was not much. But
it can't have been.
I think Deep Blue Sea 2 made the mistake of trying to be too serious.
Right, like and that's like this one references the first movie in a couple of ways, and I mean, why does everybody still love the first movie? It's because it has cartoonishly over the top shark violence.
Yeah, because they don't like it because it's a good movie.
No, they like it because it's hilarious.
Yeah, because it's fucking incredible. Because fucking the LL Cool J kills a shark with an oven. That's why they love it.
Mm-hmm.
After it eats his parrot.
Yeah, and he curses the shark with "You ate my bird."
Yep, and he's oddly religious.
Yeah,
for some reason.
Don't they call him Preacher? Isn't that his name? Don't they call him Preach?
It's madness.
Yeah, God, fucking, I love Deep Blue Sea.
It's so good.
And this was a glorious follow-up.
Yeah.
Because it did all of the things that the second one forgot to do, which was...
Be awesome.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
it's really cool that they actually built this. I mean, it's not a huge set, but like it adds.
I'm guessing the wide shots had digital added digitally to the set, and then they had like the dock set.
They clearly had the dock and a few buildings
and the restaurant. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe the rest of it is enhanced. That's true. I hadn't thought of that. It didn't look that way.
It looked good though.
Yeah.
I thought it looked good.
If the rest of it was digital, it fooled me. So kudos.
Yeah.
Yeah. It makes such a huge fucking difference. I'll forgive the fact that the sharks don't look great because everything that's happening is awesome.
Yeah, and the sharks look fine. They're on par with Deep Blue Sea 1, I think.
Fine, yeah.
Yeah.
Although Deep Blue Sea 1
Deep Blue Sea 1
had some pretty cool practical sharks in a few shots. The practical sharks in that first movie were pretty cool.
The one that bit fucking Skarsgård's
arm off.
Yeah. Holy shit. Stellan Skarsgård in that movie, he does not have a good time.
He barely looks like he barely seems to be aware he's in the movie.
Yeah.
But yeah,
it's the best part.
Weirdly, they punish his character so much.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's his first shot is him pissing into the wind, and that's like pretty much sums up his character, just getting pissed on.
Yeah. It's his arm bit off, offering a shark a cigarette.
Yep.
It was. I mean, his heart was in the right place. He had just finished.
His heart was in the
He
right
had
place.
just finished reading "If You Give a Mouse a Cookie," so he was like, "Well, if you give a shark a cigarette,
yeah, they'll be on heroin next week."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Only but like the positive message of sharing.
Yeah. The this is about the time because the bad guy is at this point he corners the idealistic bad guy, the ex-boyfriend of our main character Emma. Mm-hmm. Who she's great, by the way. I really liked her in this.
Yeah, she was good. She was on Lost.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. Yeah, she did a good job. I think everybody did a good job considering the movie that they're in.
Oh yeah, you kidding me? Fucking, she's great. I liked her like surrogate father guy, that guy Shaw.
Oh, Shaw was great.
Yeah, Shaw was awesome. A fucking karate Australian. Are you kidding me? He's great.
Yeah, when he fights karate Australian, I did have one thing where he's like, "Come on, old man," and I'm like, "You guys are the same.
You guys
age.
are the same age."
Yeah,
yeah. There's no way.
You're clearly the same age, and they keep doing jokes about how he's old.
And it's like he's not that old.
He is in better shape than me, than most people. Like, he's great. I want him to have a career too.
Yeah, he's got all these fucking pirate tattoos.
His name was Shaw, huh?
Yeah.
That's not a Robert Shaw reference, is it? I'm looking at their names, and I'm not seeing too many.
Very possibly is a Robert Shaw reference.
Yeah. His name is Emerson Brooks.
The actor?
Yeah, and he was in National Treasure Book of Secrets.
Ooh.
He was in Captain America. He's played a lot of background people. He was like in Captain America and Terminator Salvation as a soldier.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's got that look, and yeah, like he's like maybe 45. Like they keep calling him old man.
Yeah, let's see if I can get a birthday out of this guy. I'm not seeing one. I'm not going to go into too far. He doesn't look old, is the point.
Right? Yeah, he doesn't look old, and Karate Australian looks like he's about 40.
Yeah, so they both look the same age.
They look like they look like they graduated high school within 4 years of each other.
Yeah. Yeah. But before we get to that fight,
that fight is pretty awesome.
It's great. I love how he tags out. How he's like goes to his employee. He's like, "Yeah, you finish this."
Right after he finishes kicking the shit out of him, because I mean, Shaw's a burly guy. They needed him
to not die, and they needed Shaw to live.
Right.
So they needed both people to live, and that was to a thrilling conclusion.
Oh my god.
Okay, let's talk about
one of the most amazing moments of the movie.
All right, well, we might as well talk about that.
Well, I mean,
he's fighting.
Okay, yeah, we'll talk about that. Then we have to double back. The truest, truly most incredible moment in this movie.
Yes. He's fighting the Australian karate guy.
They have kind of a try on the sunglasses fight, except like it quickly becomes apparent that like Karate Australian knows karate, and it's like, oh shit, he's no, he's kicking his ass.
Yeah. And then he just tags out. It's really weird because there's a shot where I thought the other character was like a crew member in the shot because I don't remember him being much. He's not like part of the fight. He's just sitting in the back
he's
watching.
Just watching. Yeah, he's watching his boss wail on some dude.
Yeah. And then he's just like, "Hey, you finish him. I gotta go."
Right. It was such a weird tagging out thing.
He doesn't have time for this, apparently.
Right. He's got more pressing shark exploding business on his hands.
Yeah.
But like the guy he tags in is like this really skinny dude.
Yeah, and that guy's got to be like, Jesus, really?
Right. He's like, yeah, I know. Like this dude is beat to shit, but he's still like fucking jacked and covered in pirate tattoos. Like,
yeah.
I don't think I can handle this guy.
Yeah. I feel like I'm gonna get my head bitten off.
I feel like you should come back here and kick him a few more times.
Yeah. So yeah, he gets the good guy gets the better of this wiener, and he wins when a shark comes launching itself at them. Mm-hmm. And he throws the man in the air.
He does.
He holds him up like it's his baby boy.
He does.
Like he plays airplane.
He does the Keanu in Speed.
Like you're right.
He just pushes him up enough so that the shark takes his head clean off.
Clean off. The shark lands in the water like, oh, just a head? Oh, that's the worst part.
Well, then
like that's got to be the worst part to eat a person.
Then they shove his headless. They return to his headless body and
they do.
A few minutes later to they kick his ass into the ocean to distract the sharks.
They use every part of this guy.
They use every part of this fucking poor ass guy.
Yeah. Let's double back. Like the ZZ Top song.
Yeah. Sharp Dressed Man. Yeah.
So the idealistic good guy has like a face-off with Australian karate.
So a very mild one. Like he's bitching about what they're doing.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, I mean, you can either be on this boat and win, or you can jump in the ocean and swim back over to them and be on the losing side. So I mean, he says it's a no-brainer. And then the guy's like, idealistic bad guy is like, puffs his chest up.
I would rather die with her than live with you, he says.
Live like you.
Live life like you,
yeah.
Right.
And then he's like, you're right, it is a no-brainer. And he very nobly dives off the bow of the ship.
Spoilers, he doesn't reach the water.
Well, he kind of does.
Kind of.
He reaches the water inside a different vessel.
Yes.
So he nobly dives over the ship to swim over to his ex-girlfriend scientist to help her save the day, and just the shark leaps straight up out of the water and bites his ass in half.
Yep. Just like he dives into the shark's mouth.
Effectively, he dives into the shark's mouth.
He doesn't realize it. They clearly wanted to do Samuel L. Jackson. Yeah. And they were like, how can we do this?
Right, because
in a way,
I was waiting for it in the Sam Jackson way. Like every time somebody was like walking across that long bridge, and like in the there was a couple of scenes where people would be walking back and forth between the town and the ship, and there's this long bridge that's very low to the water. With no railings or anything. And they did a few shots where like two characters were talking, having a conversation, and one of like the principal characters would be slightly in the background. So I was watching all of those scenes like, somebody's just going to get grabbed by a shark mid-sentence. I know it's going to happen. Yeah,
you know it's going to happen. And they were like, how can we sneak it in for the people expecting it where they won't expect it?
Right.
And it is a moment you do not expect.
You don't, yeah. Because they don't shoot it in a way that like teases that.
No, it's like a long shot of him diving into the water, and then the shark just goes vroom, and it's a genuine. I had to rewind and rewatch situation where I was like, "Wait, what? Oh shit!" It's incredible.
Just explodes out of the water like it's in a fucking stunt show at SeaWorld.
He's also the perfect character for it because he's in the middle of his turn from villain to good guy.
Right, he's having like a triumphant moment.
They do this thing where they, and you kind of know better with Deep Blue Sea because Deep Blue Sea, it didn't mean to because of audience testing. It defied a lot of expectations were what happened to characters. The main woman in that, who is the villain, but they for some reason the movie thinks she's the hero, gets eaten unceremoniously in that movie. So like you kind of know that this sort of stuff can happen, but they set up this romance between him and her. They start giving them an arc. And maybe if you've underestimated the movie, you might not expect it for that character either. I suspected that he wasn't going to live through, but not like that. Not like that.
Not like that. I was expecting, like, there's a few scenes where he's walking in the background on the bridge, and I'm like, okay, now's the perfect time to grab this guy.
Yeah.
But the movie was like, oh no, we've identified the perfect moment to grab this guy, and here it is.
I wonder if, like, the shark was... How is this from the shark's point of view? So it's waiting in the water, I assume. Just sitting there excitedly, its little butt wiggling.
Yeah.
Like a cat.
Like a cat. I assume
sees him kind of on the boat, like he's going to jump.
I suspect, because he's the guy that held the gun to their brother's head in the shark hostage situation. So I suspect they've just been circling the ship staring at that guy. Like,
yeah, you're right. They've probably just been on him the whole time.
Just waiting for him to make a fucking move. And, like, as soon as he slips up, we're on him. We got his ass.
And one of them was like, oh, he's jumping. Go.
Yeah.
Ooh, oh, you got him. I mean, it's great also because jumping in the water is very dumb of him. Like, though take a boat or something, right? Like, there's sharks in the water.
Or climb down to the jetty. Or wait, has Karate Australian already blown up the jetty at that point? I can't remember.
I don't know. All I know is that, like, logistically speaking, he's trying to do this, like, walking out, like, this dramatic moment, like, I'd rather be with them. And it's like he forgets there's sharks in the water.
Right.
And what I love about how this movie handles that is that, as an audience, I was about to remember that fact.
Right, because
like, had he jumped...
You hadn't seen them in a minute.
Yeah, and I hadn't registered what he was doing, and so he's mid-jump, and by the time he'd hit the water and start swimming, I'd think, like, well, that's dumb, there's sharks in the water. But the movie interrupts that thought process by just getting ahead of that thought and having a shark meet him halfway in the air.
Yeah. No, I got you, buddy, I got you.
Yeah. Immediately shutting him down.
Yeah. It's just diving headlong into a shark's mouth.
There's so much about it. It's the gravity of him versus the inertia of the shark launching out of the water.
Oh yeah, his fucking back snapped when he hit that shark's mouth.
Yeah, it's this like thump, like it's this heavy fucking impact of man versus shark.
It is pretty incredible.
It's great. It's worth watching this movie for.
All of the shark stuff is worth it.
All of the shark stuff.
The fucking the explosions.
I feel like we should have put spoilers on this. I mean, people know, but like, seriously, like, you should just watch this movie.
Yeah, you should really watch this movie. I mean,
if everything we're saying, if it's all, you know, speaking to you. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Then there's the fight. The two men of equal age fighting.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
A bunch of stuff happens, right? The couple that we haven't even talked about, like the nerd.
There's a Japanese lady and this nerdy guy who's like a tech guy, and she's like the sonar person. They get stuck in the sinking restaurant. Yeah. And they give this away in the trailer, but they do a Sam Jackson moment with the nerdy guy where they're like, they've just gotten to safety and he's saying, "Oh, that sure was and a shark just explodes up to the floor.
Yeah,
and grabs
that
him.
was the most telegraphed death.
Right. Yeah. Well, had they not shown it in the trailer, I might not have been thinking about it because
I didn't know about it in the trailer, and
okay.
I knew it was coming because it's him being like, everything's all right now, and it's like, well, you're gonna get immediately eaten.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess I'm anticipating that my mind might have, because we got like the upgraded Sam Jackson moment, so I might have been in the headspace where I wasn't thinking about it.
Right. I would say that it was smart of them to put that in the trailer because I think it's the most predictable death.
Yeah, it is. It is. And then we cut away to like the shark leaving and. I think the shark comes at the Japanese lady, and then it cuts to like we don't see her die, so you're kind of like expecting.
But you see her like consider getting in something.
Yeah, and then that cuts the characters outside, and you hear her like shriek, and then the shark swims out, and you can see blood trailing out behind it. So like the movie's trying to trick you into thinking that she's dead, but
I thought she was a clear survivor. I thought the husband on the boat. who
Right, I thought he
they
was
find
gonna. I
his
thought
arm.
he was gonna come back. Yeah.
Yeah. I thought there was going to be like a post credits or something because they do a thing where he looks, sees the shark come at him, takes out his knife, screams, and then we cut away, and then later we see his arm.
Yeah,
and I was thinking like his one armed fucking body is going to come lurching out of the water at some point.
Right, and he doesn't.
Yeah.
Which is fine because like the way they shot his death was kind of cool.
Yes.
Like-
Also,
Go ahead.
I don't know if are they smart enough to know all the tropes and they're subverting them?
Maybe.
By not showing his death, they're like, well, now you're going to think maybe he's alive.
Maybe, yeah.
And then later, with the woman, you're like, well, they didn't show that guy's death.
Yeah.
Maybe she's dead.
Yeah. It is a cool scene, though, when he dies.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And then the discovery of the boat when they just start pulling up the net and his arm's caught in the net. That was cool.
Wife finds it.
Yeah, his wife finds his arm. That was cool.
Yeah, it's a real cool movie.
Yeah, this movie fucking rips.
And then the Australian guy is... Oh, wait. No, what happens first is he goes to blow them up. We didn't mention that he has a mine
He
placed.
has a mine. Yeah, he places
that
them.
he's going to blow up the sharks.
He's going to blow up the whole reef. He's going to collapse the nursery.
Yeah, which...
Sink the town.
This is a dick move.
This is an extreme dick move, but he's like, yeah. It's not that it doesn't make sense because he's just like, I'm not getting back in the fucking water. We're just going to put this mine there and we're going to blow everything up to make sure
Yeah.
the sharks are dead.
It's definitely a smart move, but it is a dick move.
Right, it's a dick move and it's very cynical, which is appropriate for this character. So it's not
blow
it's
up
not,
a reef.
It's not out of the blue crazy, but it is still crazy.
Again, it's the climate change stuff. It's
Yeah.
just blow it all up
Yeah, fuck it.
instead of dealing with
We're
the problem.
fracking this shit.
Yeah, instead of dealing with it with nuance, it's like, no, just fucking blow it all up.
Yeah, fuck it.
And they so our hero, she goes down to work on the mine to get it off and has a standoff with the sharks where she holds the mine up and the sharks aren't fucking with her, which was cool.
Yeah, yeah.
And then they do a weird fake out, I thought, where she radios and she's like, "Can you get these sharks off me?" So they use the dead guy, the guy who was decapitated.
Yeah, his
they like
headless-
milk his neck of blood.
They do. He like stomps on his chest to squirt blood. Oh, fucking this movie rules.
It's fucking awesome. They throw the dead body in, and
It's not a bad corpse either. Like
It's a good corpse.
in terms of the effect. Yeah.
Yeah. And then she says something like, "I got an idea. I'm sorry. Goodbye." And so you're like, is she going to Deep Blue Sea 1 this?
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was really just precautionary because she gets out of the water and she's like, I'm fine.
Right.
And
Yeah.
I'm like,
Because
"Oh, okay."
what she has done is attach the mine to the bad guy's ship.
Yep.
So I guess she
And
was
this
just
asshole.
saying. I guess she was just saying goodbye in case something happens.
Yeah, which is fair. That's
Yeah,
fair.
You're carrying a mine. Like
and
everything's
there's
on the
sharks in
table
the
at that
water.
point.
Yeah. And he's going to blow it up.
Yeah.
He has control over the mine. And so he's sailing away like a real dickhead, and
Yeah,
he sets
it's-
off the mine.
it's pretty great.
Blows himself up. The boat sinks.
Yeah, it's pretty great. Like he's standing there on this ship holding the remote up like he's a fucking king.
Yeah.
And he's like, and with a flick of this switch, and he just blows himself up.
But he doesn't blow up, which is great. The boat just like sinks immediately. Like it's a good effect, I thought.
Yeah, not bad. Not bad.
Yeah. For the budget. Mm-hmm. They don't hold back. They don't they did what they needed to do.
Yeah.
But he shows back up and he is burnt to shit.
He's like partially exploded.
Yeah, he's very funny looking and he is so angry.
Yeah, well, yeah.
He tries to drown her and then Sally saves her, the shark. Mm-hmm. Gets in, which you could say Sally is like, again, it's a shark brain. So I think Sally was hungry,
Yeah.
saw two humans, saw one of them was like, oh, I think I know that one. So I'll eat the other one. And I think that's the extent of Sally's effort to save.
Yeah, it's a real T-Rex in Jurassic Park moment.
It is. There's a little bit of Jurassic Park in this. And Sally's been hiding most of the time because Sally is the smartest one, where it's like, I'm not going near those animals.
Right, yeah, because they discover a bunch of dead, eaten great whites in the nursery. She's like, fuck that.
Yeah.
I'm not hanging around with these motherfuckers.
So Sally saves. That's the death of Australian karate, right?
Right. Yeah, he is gone after that.
Yeah, and so they. We haven't talked about.
We haven't talked about Shaw.
Shaw. Oh, Shaw.
Yeah, Shaw is killed. Spoilers. I think he's already dead when Karate Australian guy reappears.
Okay.
I think because doesn't he trigger the explosion that launches him into the water?
The idea is he has to cut the net that has the drone on it.
Oh no. Okay. Yeah, you're right. Okay, so I think Karate Australian is already dead at this point.
Okay.
I can't remember.
Yeah, the drone has. What is the drone for?
They put the tracking device.
Got it.
Onto the drone to lure the sharks out.
Yeah, and it gets caught in a net. Mm-hmm. And so he's like, I'll go fix it. Mm-hmm. He goes out there. He gets it free. He goes to the surface. He sees two of the sharks on either end of him coming straight for him. So he does what anyone would do. You know?
Yeah, they lifted, I think, either in the fight he had or when she was being drowned by Karate Australian, they took 2 explosive darts off of him.
Yep. And so he takes the explosive darts out of his pocket. He leaps and stabs the 2 sharks as they close in on him on either side, and everything explodes.
Exploding all 3 of them like a glorious meat balloon.
Yep. Just pink goo flying everywhere.
If I had a choice of ways that I could depart this realm, that would
exploding 2 sharks.
That would be high on the list.
Yeah,
exploding 2 sharks and myself to save my friends like a fucking king.
They knew someone needed to die awesome.
Yeah,
and they're like, well, this guy
obviously
needs to die awesome.
It's obviously the awesome dude with awesome pirate tattoos that needs to die awesome.
Yeah, and he explodes.
Yeah,
himself and 2 sharks.
Yeah,
like a champion.
He dies historic on the Fury Road.
Yeah. He really thinks fast. Because he doesn't have much time, but it's very clear he's going to die. Like in that moment, it's like, no, you can't swim out of this, buddy.
The question is like, oh shit, what's he going to do?
Yeah.
And then I was not expecting him to do what he did.
Yeah. I was not expecting that. I was happy it happened, though.
Coincidence, Karate Australian voiced Mad Max in the Mad Max video game.
Oh, shit.
And did the motion capture for him, apparently.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Also, ways that I did not expect a shark to die is the final shark.
The final shark. So
this movie, you'd think at this point they got nothing left in the movie.
Yeah.
And you'd be wrong.
And you would be, forgive me for saying, a goddamn fool.
Yeah. So our hero, she is faced off with the final shark. I forget how she gets in this predicament, but she has to swim away.
Everything's collapsing. I think something explodes and separates her from the fisherman's wife, who's the only other character left at this point.
Yes.
And she the island is sinking, and the garbage compactor, which was introduced earlier in the film.
Yep. Should have known.
Yeah, I mean, it's not done in a telegraphed way. They just show somebody throwing trash into it, so you know it's there.
Yep.
It's the garbage compactor behind the restaurant is partially submerged, and she has to swim in there to get away from the shark, and it becomes the fucking last scene from the Terminator.
Yes. It does become the last scene from the Terminator, doesn't it? It also has a feeling of LL Cool J in Deep Blue Sea 1 with the oven.
Yeah.
So she climbs in, and the shark is squeezing through the compactor. Mm-hmm. She has to open the door up. It's really good.
It's good. It's like a good sequence.
It's an extremely good sequence.
And she's also drowning at the same time. So it's like it's in between dodging the shark that's frantically trying to get through the small opening at her, trying to force the side door open to hold the button, and then also she has to keep surfacing to breathe. And it's not instant. She has to hold the button down, so it takes a while.
It takes a while.
She
basically has to slowly crush a shark.
Yes, she has to slowly
while she's
crush
fighting it off. She's punching it with her fists.
Yeah,
she's wailing on the shark.
She's kicking it, punching it, trying to hold this button down, drowning at the same time. This sequence is fucking awesome.
you don't feel good about it.
No!
She apologizes to the shark because it's a grisly fucking end
Right,
on the
yeah,
shark.
the last thing she
does. You can tell she doesn't like doing it.
No, because she's like
She's
all about
not into
preserving
it.
sharks. Yeah, and it's like
Yeah.
her like the part where like the "you ate my bird" line would go. She literally says, "I'm sorry."
Yeah,
To the shark.
the actress is doing a great job. It's shot really well. It's fucking intense.
It's good. It's like really good.
It's really good. And she keeps diving underwater, trying to reach out, hold the button down, coming out for air, hitting and kicking the shark because it's right on her, but it's stuck. And then suddenly the shark just freezes. Mm-hmm. Its head starts getting a little big. She shuts her eyes, which very smart.
She closes her eyes.
And the shark explodes all over her.
The shark fucking detonates.
It just pops like a balloon.
It's
all over her.
Incredible.
It is grisly.
Yeah, it is really fucking grisly. Yeah, it's
so good.
It is a very detailed digital effect.
Yeah,
it is. It's this movie is extremely bloody.
Yes, it is. Oh, yes, it is
in the best possible way.
She and she surfaces. She meets the other woman.
And they get into her husband's boat.
They get on a boat. Yep, and then they find the other woman trapped in the cabinet.
Yeah, her
and they all
her
sail
cabinet
off.
comes floating up, and the Japanese woman was hiding inside with a knife. I believe she almost stabs them.
Yeah,
I mean, I'd take a knife.
she's
I'd
ready.
be like, whatever opens this.
She says something like, "You're not sharks,"
right?
or something.
Yeah. At that point, I'd expect like a shark with a fucking monocle to be opening the cabinet.
Yeah. I'd expect like Planet of the Sharks.
Right.
You open it, and the Statue of Liberty is on the beach.
Shark Statue of Liberty.
Yeah, Shark Statue of Liberty.
Shark holding a lantern.
Yeah, they all sail off to civilization to start a like a weed business. I like to think they make they start a business together. They have a great time.
Yeah. Oh, they see Sally too.
Oh yeah, they do. Sally's not looking great, but Sally's gonna live.
Yeah. She's
is like
partially fucked up, but it's alright.
Yeah. It's a fucking fantastic movie.
Yeah, this movie is awesome.
It really is. I don't know, man. Deep Blue Sea 3. It's a real Universal Soldier Day of Reckoning situation.
It is.
Here. Yeah. It's nobody's gonna watch this movie, and it's gonna pass us by, and this director and this these people, they might not get the recognition they deserve for making a really fucking fun Deep Blue Sea sequel.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah. Spread the word. Tell your family.
Yeah, tell your family and friends. Like
call your
Deep
grandparents.
Deep Blue Sea 3 is an extremely fun movie to watch.
Yeah. Tell everybody at your church. Everybody. Everybody needs to know.
Yeah, this is a perfect movie for quarantine. And also
yes.
and also very.
It is a perfect quarantine movie because it takes you. It's about nothing relevant. Well, climate change.
It's about climate change, but like it's a fun like group watch if you're doing like virtual watch parties.
Yeah.
The underwater footage they get of the reef and the nursery is like legitimately gorgeous.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, we're like this, and it's it's like in super HD, so it's just like, oh, this looks amazing.
Yeah. It's a terrific film.
It fucking rips. I don't know what else to say, man. This movie rules.
Yeah. Deep Blue Sea 3.
I wish nothing but success for everyone involved.
2 thumbs up. Yeah. 5 stars.
5 stars. A shark explodes in a garbage
shark
crusher.
Explodes. Yeah. What more do you fucking want? You know? If after you've seen that, like what more do you want? It's perfection.
Yeah. It cannot be any better.
Yeah.
If you assemble all of these people, the director, the writer, all the producers, etc., give them, I don't know, $40 million to make another one.
Yeah. Make another Deep Blue Sea.
Mm-hmm.
I literally stayed through the credits in case there was a post-credits
I did this.
scene.
I fast forwarded.
Yeah.
But I skipped all the way to the end because there's like 5 minutes of credits. So I was like, ooh, there might be an additional scene.
Yeah. Maybe they'll give us a link to how to watch another hour of the movie.
Right.
You know, like I just want more. Just give me more.
I might watch this again, like today.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It was just such a fucking joyful experience watching this movie.
Joyful is the word. It is
It
wonderful.
I mean, so often, like what happened with Deep Blue Sea 2, but this happens even in big budget movies. So often, follow-ups will not understand what it was about the original that appealed to people.
Oh, for sure.
And this movie absolutely gets all of it. Like,
This is made by someone who understands Deep Blue Sea.
yeah. And it's not a complicated thing to understand, which is what blows me away when, like...
Yeah, when they don't get it.
Right, when you don't get it. When we get, like, these bland... Although I liked the Friday the 13th reboot. And the Nightmare reboot was okay, too. But, like the Halloween remake, or, like, any of these modern sort of... A lot of these modern horror movies that we're getting were specifically related... Like, slasher movies. Because there's... If you're making a Jason movie... Like, that's maybe the one thing I didn't like about the Friday the 13th movie, is that it's not really very funny.
It needs to be funny.
Right, like, you need to understand that Jason's hilarious. Like, that's why people like to watch this. And
extremely funny.
And there's so many things that are like that, where it's like the elements are very, very simple, but they just somehow seem to not understand it time and again. But this movie nails it, and it's an extremely pleasant surprise. Especially since, I keep saying it, but especially since that second one we watched was so bad. Like, Deep Blue Sea 2 is awful. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't need to... Yes, by the way, you don't need to have seen Deep Blue Sea 2 to understand Deep Blue Sea 3. I feel like that went without saying.
Right, but, like, in fairness, this movie does reference the first movie.
Yes.
And maybe it references the second movie and I just missed it.
No, I think it didn't want to be associated with the second movie.
Right, because that second movie is trash.
Yeah, I say have yourself a Deep Blue Sea night, watch the first one and the third one.
Yeah, and
this might as well be the sequel.
And enjoy sharks murdering people. Weird. This movie got a weird pop from me, and I don't know if you noticed it, because I don't know if you've watched the original Deep Blue Sea as many times as I have.
I don't know.
But in the last scene, when she's swimming towards the garbage compactor and the shark is chasing her, it does a few notes of the original Deep Blue Sea theme.
Oh, fuck yeah.
And I fucking popped. like I was at a wrestling show and Stone Cold's music came on. I was like, oh shit!
That's great.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I didn't hate the music. I don't remember it.
It's not great, but if you watch the movie a few times, it's definitely memorable. It's just this very eerie piano tune.
Oh no! I know the Deep Blue Sea music you're talking about. Yeah.
Okay.
I meant the music in this one.
I can't.
It doesn't have.
Nah.
I'm not seeing a credit for anybody doing music in this movie.
Mark Killian.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. And actually, I happened to notice because,
I see it.
Like I said, like we both mentioned, we watched the end credits to make sure there wasn't a scene. He co-wrote the song that plays over the end credits.
Oh, okay. God, if they had gotten LL Cool J to just do a song,
oh man,
that would have been amazing. I mean, I get it.
I don't know where you go, because he already started with Deepest Bluest, so we've reached the maximum of deep blueness.
Right.
Where do you go?
He'd have to go. He'd have to move on from that.
It'd have to be called Seest.
Seest, yeah.
Yeah.
Most sea. Most deepest. Most bluest.
Maybe. Well, he already did. Well, yeah. Most bluest.
Even more deepest.
More. Seest, more deepest. I don't know.
Deepfinity.
Deepfinity. That could be it.
Deepfinity.
Deepfinity,
yeah.
I don't know. My shoes are like shark legs. I don't know where you go after my hat is like a shark's fin.
Yeah. They need to make a fourth. They need to get LL Cool J and
Thomas Jane.
Thomas Jane back.
Yeah, why not?
They need to get the cast from this as well.
Yeah.
They meet up with each other and they form a super group.
And hijinks occur.
Yeah.
Fucking more sharks doing even wilder things.
Yeah.
This is an easy formula.
Yeah, you can't miss.
You can.
Well, you can.
You can.
You can make Deep Blue Sea too.
You
Yeah.
can make Shark Night.
Yeah. You can make Shark Night.
Yeah, because nobody's going to make Jaws again. Like, we're never going to make a good shark movie, so you might as well make it awesome.
Yeah.
Like, have the sharks do
100%.
backflips and just torpedo their way through helicopters. Like, that's the kind of shit you need to do.
Yeah. Go for gold.
Just go for gold.
You know?
I don't care, man. Just put a shark in a submarine. See what happens. I don't know.
Yeah. Shark Marine.
Shark Marine.
Yeah.
Subshark.
Subshark. I don't even know how that'd work. It'd just be flopping around.
I don't care.
Gasping for air, eating people.
Listen, they had a shark on like a ventilator in this movie. Like they had tubes of water pumping through its gills. You remember that?
Right. Yeah.
Do that. Just have him wear a backpack that has tubes of water going through its
a
gills.
reverse scuba's tank.
Exactly.
Yep.
I don't care. Just make it happen.
I don't care.
Put a shark on a fucking
legs.
airplane.
Yeah.
Just flopping its way through an airplane.
Yeah, just flopping around.
Yeah.
It's breathing with blood. Like it keeps using people's blood to breathe.
There you go. Blood shark.
Blood shark. Blood shark goes to Hawaii.
Yep.
And it's on a plane.
This is easy. This is money on the table, you guys.
Yeah, all you have to do is pick it up.
All you got to do is be bold enough to grab it.
Any final thoughts?
No, just I am not kidding. I'm probably about to watch this as soon as we stop recording. Probably going to watch it again.
It's great. It's great. I would too, but I have a little work to do. But like, I think we should watch this next Friday.
Oh yeah,
probably.
for sure.
Yeah, we got to show the world. We got to make sure people see this movie.
Indeed.
I guess that's it. Go watch it. Go watch Deep Blue Sea 3.
That is all that remains to be said is watch this goddamn movie.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess tell them what we got going on.
Yeah, we have a Patreon, patreon.com/gamefullyunemployed. We have exclusive podcasts there, like Tom and Jeff Watch Batman and Fox Mulder is a Maniac. And every Friday we watch movies with our patrons.
We do.
Which is why we're probably going to watch Deep Blue Sea again this Friday.
Yeah, I think it's $10 and up, but yeah.
Yeah, it's the Club 10.
Second tier and up we watch.
Second tier and up.
Yes. What did we watch this weekend? We watched Train to Busan.
We did.
We normally watch stupid movies, but this weekend we watched Train to Busan. And The Mist.
And The Mist. We watched The Mist and Train to Busan.
And then we watched
followed by Smokin' Aces.
So that's
real palate cleanser.
That's
there.
usually the caliber of movie we watch.
Yes. Yes. But again, next week, probably Deep Blue Sea 3, so that'll be a good movie.
I mean, honestly, it'll probably be Deep Blue Sea and Deep Blue Sea 3.
Yes. Oh, yeah. And then a third. What would our third be?
I don't know. Some other shark.
Jaws the Revenge?
Some other shark movie that rules. Maybe Jaws 3.
Jaws 3. We've watched that fairly recently.
We have.
But we can watch it again.
True. That's true.
I don't know why we wouldn't watch it again.
I mean, honestly, yeah. That's the only idea left to do beyond Blood Shark is to remake Jaws 3.
Yeah. Dennis Quaid is kind of like a shark flying through the air in that movie.
More slasher movies set in amusement parks, period.
Yep.
We also have a store at tpublic.com/stores/gamefullyunemployed where you can get t-shirts, mugs, stickers, posters, masks, baby onesies, all kinds of shit, man. It's crazy.
Yep. It is. It's crazy. It's out of this world.
It's so crazy we literally don't know all of the items that we actually sell.
We don't pay attention. We are negligent.
Yeah, that goes without saying. So yeah, check that out.
Yeah. And check out Deep Blue Sea 3. For fuck's sake, you guys. Come on. When have we asked you for anything?
Seest
except
threeest.
For the Patreon. Seest
threeest.
It's perfect.
Yeah, we nailed it. There's nothing left to say.
Perfect film.